Malik Willis came back to Tennessee and beat the Titans in convincible fashion in a game where the Titans were outplayed, outcoached, and they are now 0-3 for the first time since 2009. Hey, Titans fans, how's it going? Titan Uprising here. Thank you for tuning in. I cannot wait to make a video when the Tennessee Titans win a football game. 0-3 for the first time since 2009. Yeah, it sucks. Hey, in 2 weeks, I'll get to not make a video because I'll be on a bye. So hey, that's a can't lose on a bye, I hope. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to get into team stats, quarterback play, defensive play calling, and play calling in general. And when I say defensive play calling, I should say what I was shocked by, and then why we didn't really show out on defense. I'll get into that. But towards the end of the video, I will kind of share some hopefulness and why I think this team is progressing and how they can get better and what they are doing. But let's get into the team stats first, okay? Now, the Titans had 33 yards rushing and 204 passing. That's a total of 237 yards on offense. That's not going to cut it. Flip on the other side of the ball there. The Packers had 190 passing yards, but the killer here was 188 rushing yards for the Packers. Just insane. They had an average of 5.1 yards per rush compared to Tennessee's 3 yards per rush. Just not going to cut it, guys. Third down wasn't anything crazy. The Packers were 5 of 14, and the Titans were 3 of 9. I mean, it's not like they really smoked them there. They just had more explosive plays and big plays, and the Packers averaged 6.4 yards per play. The Titans averaged 4.5 yards per play. That's a big difference as well. The Packers had 0 turnovers. The Titans had 3 turnovers. The lack of running game compiled with turnovers absolutely killed the Titans in this game. Not to mention the Titans gave up 8 sacks and had only 3 on the Packers. Just, you can see how they lost the game and how it wasn't even close, to be honest with you. This game, 30-14, but it felt like it was a bigger margin, in all honesty. Now, this is going to lead me right into the quarterback play here because quarterback play, there's a lot of meat left on the bone there for Levis. We'll start off with Malik, though. Malik Willis had 275 yards of total offense on his own, 2 touchdowns, 0 turnovers, and a QB rating of 120.9. Will Levis had 272 yards of total offense, 2 touchdowns, 3 turnovers, and a QB rating of 92.8. Now you can tell Will Levis, he threw the ball more and had a better, I shouldn't say better game passing, just more passing yards because he had to. Malik Willis absolutely killed us on the ground running. I'll get into that in a little bit. But Will Levis made an absolutely horrible throw to Hopkins on a hook route that the Packers read from the get-go, and they had a pick 6, guys. You can't make that throw if you're an NFL quarterback, and if you do, you need to throw it sooner. You did not throw it soon enough. The DB read that, and I saw it from him. I was sitting on my couch, I was like, oh no. And as soon as he threw it, I was like, yep, that's a pick 6. Up until that, though, Levis was playing pretty well, actually. The other pick interception that he threw towards the end of the game when he was trying to throw it up, I don't really necessarily count him on that. Obviously, it's a stat and it counts, but there's context to that. And then the fumble he had was on the offensive line. And his blocking was absolutely horrible. And he had no time to throw. No time whatsoever. The right side of the offensive line is an issue. NPF got pulled and Jalen Duncan was put in at right tackle. Be interested to see if that is the case this upcoming Monday night against the Dolphins or not. Might have to be because NPF, man, when he got pulled for the sack, it's like he didn't even touch the guy. When that happened, I was like, he's got to get pulled, but I'm used to Vrabel sticking with the same guys in there. The line needs to continue to gel and get better. They really do. The left side has improved since week 1. Now the right side is obviously the glaring hole there. It really is. And like I said, Malik Willis, 73 yards he'd had on the ground, took off 6 times. All of his runs, by the way, were backbreakers for either a first down to keep the drive alive, or the one was for a touchdown. Malik hit a lot of slant routes and got the ball into his playmaker's hands, something I wish the Titans would have done with Will Levis, but they did not do it. You add that in with the lack of running game, which the Titans did not have any running game at all. Just the offense for the Packers was just churning. They were just better. They were just better. And that leads me into the defense here and coaching, which I was very disappointed in both. The Titans, for some reason, did not account for Malik's scrambling ability, like I said earlier, when he took off 6 times for 73 yards. Like, it baffled me. Like, you practiced against this guy. Like, how do you not know that he can do this? He was taking off whenever he wanted and had huge chunk gains. And the receivers were as well. Everything was a big play. It was just like a 20-yard gash, 30-yard gash. And, man, they were explosive. The defense was supposed to be the strength of this team, and they fell apart against a backup quarterback. And like I said, they knew this guy. You practice against him, and he was traded less than a month ago. I don't understand how you don't account for his scrambling ability. They didn't confuse him or throw any different looks at him. And for the most part, Malik was just in control of this game. He was great. I mean, no other way around it. And then the Packers, they neutralized Simmons and Sweat. And our defensive line didn't get much penetration at all. And that's where I blame the coaching on this. I blame the coaching because obviously you have LaFleur here for the Green Bay Packers. He's proven he's been a great head coach. And the Titans, I think, obviously messed up by not hiring him to be their head coach years ago. Instead, they hired Vrabel, who then hired LaFleur as his offensive coordinator. And everybody said when it first happened that, you know, this guy is going to be a head coach, you know, probably the year after. And sure enough, he was. And it's funny because the offensive scheme that the Titans had was, you know, the same offensive scheme that LaFleur had. Remember, Arthur Smith was a tight ends coach, I believe, and then he became the offensive coordinator, and he took that scheme that LaFleur built and made that, you know, we built our scheme off of LaFleur. I made a video on this if you guys want to watch it. And that's what the Titans did for years, and they were very successful until Arthur Smith moved and became the head coach of the Falcons, and now he's the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. But, you know, it's just amazing that that's what we took and that's what we built off of, and it was successful for a while. LaFleur knew what to do with Malik Willis. Hit those short, quick seam routes, take a chunk play here and there upon play action, get him out, roll him around, get him to scramble, use his feet, use his athletic ability, his God-given talent. I mean, why could we never do that? And then our coaching staff takes Will Levis, and, you know, they want to take deep shots, but the line can't block long enough for it. You got to take quick slant routes. Why don't you get Chig on a crosser right over the middle? Or, you know, Calvin Ridley, who's fast. He had some of the fastest speeds week 2. I mean, I don't understand why everything has to be a drop back and I don't know. Just seems like we're not ready to, I don't know. We're not ready. The coaches aren't getting us ready, and they're not putting us in the best positions possible. You know, maybe they're that scared of the offensive line. Maybe they're that scared of what Will Levis can do. And if that's the case, then I'm scared for this football team because, you know, I don't like what I'm seeing on Sundays. I don't like any of the designs, the coaching. When Levis threw that interception to Hopkins, he threw it on the right side. The left side also had a hook route. You do 2 hook routes on the same. I mean, there's just no, I don't know. I'm not seeing the same stuff in the regular season that I did in the preseason, which is weird. And maybe it's because of the offensive line. They just can't get the blocking. The pressure's there, so we're not able to see a lot of routes develop. But I'm also not seeing, like I said, any of the quick stuff to help Levis out. Screens, where were the screens at? You know, try and get the ball in Spears or Pollard's hands. We did towards the end of the game, but where was that in the beginning? run left behind the best part of your offensive line. I didn't see much of that either. Worried, guys. A little worried. But like I said, we got outcoached. I was especially disappointed in the defense. Denard Wilson's defense definitely took a hit. You know, you didn't hear Landry's name. Simmons had a sack, but towards the end of the game, Simmons should be wrecking the offenses, and he's not. Him and Sweat, I just don't understand how they're not. I don't know. We have good corners on the back. Cheeto's hurt now for a couple weeks, but before that, it's like, what's going on? McCreary got beat. Yeah, it's just I'm not seeing what I want to see. Jamal Adams comes back, misses a bunch of tackles, and that's the other thing with the defense. They missed tackles all day long. They truly did. They weren't wrapping, and they just were falling off the ball carrier. I mean, you're not going to win many games like that. There's plenty of times where they had somebody stop, like they had Malik Willis stopped in the backfield and scrambled for a first down. Can't keep doing that, guys. But like I said towards the end of the video, I was going to get into some optimism. So Levis threw a pick six, okay. Something I didn't see yesterday was him make some of those boneheaded decisions. We're trying to flip it out or whatever. He took the sack. He was making good reads. He had some good throws, so I'm encouraged by that. The offensive line, like I said, took a step back, but, you know, this is a youngest offensive line in the NFL. This is one of the younger teams as well. And, I mean, there are some teams that are some players like Hopkins and Ridley that are, you know, Ridley's, I think, 29. Hopkins is in his 30s. You know, Boyd is, I think, 29, 30 as well. You do have guys like that are older, but you have a lot of young players on this team, and they need to gel. It's a new offensive scheme, new defensive scheme, new guys, a lot of new players playing together. The pieces are there. They are truly there. They have to put them all together. I think they can. I think that this is a team that I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I do think that this is a team that will start to put things together towards the middle part of the year and catch fire and carry the momentum in the next season once they start gelling. And I don't know when that gelling part will be, but one sliver of optimism for people that say we might be able to make the playoffs still. We have not lost to an AFC team yet. We have not played any of our division games yet. A lot of our division games are at the end of the year. So if this team starts to catch, you know, they need a win in Miami first to get the AFC win. Then go on their bye week 1-3, put together a win after their bye week, then they're 2-3. They need to build off of that. It's got to start somewhere, though. They have to beat the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. If they lose that game, they're out. They're out. But that's what I have for tonight, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think down below. Like I said, trying to be a little optimistic here, but not trying to be too doom and gloom, but just spitting out the facts and what's going on with the Titans, guys. Let me know what you think. And as always, tighten up.